So now onto the big stuff. It was right after Uncharted that they got to the good stuff. First things first, Wolverine. That was a dope trailer. When I first saw the bar, like even though I saw Insomniac and thought, okay, this is Spider-Man. And then they showed the bar. And my mind immediately went, is Wolverine gonna be in Spider-Man? And then they showed his back. And the moment I saw the hat, I was like, that's Wolverine. Like all I saw was the hat. I was like, that's Wolverine. Wolverine wears cowboy hats. I was like, that's clearly Wolverine. Then they showed his arms, and it's like, that's Wolverine. And then I'm like, this is either a Wolverine game or Wolverine's gonna be in Spider-Man 2. I didn't know which one it was. And then he showed his claws and he said Wolverine. And I was like, what? Insomniac is just making a Wolverine game? Like, what was your reaction when you first saw it?
I didn't really care because
You don't like Wolverine. I forgot about that.
I don't like Wolverine. Actually, Tyler, you know Tyler. My friend Tyler, I'm in a group chat with some of my friends. And Tyler texted the group chat. He was like, "Insomniac's making a Wolverine game." My exact reaction was, "Oh, really? Cool." Like, I don't like Wolverine. I'm like, I'm gonna play it, but I don't like Wolverine. Like, I'm not a Wolverine fan. Never have been.
Did you like Logan?
Not really. No. Like, I'm not a Wolverine fan. Like,
You
I mean,
just
there's nothing wrong with him. He's just never been interesting to
oh,
me, and I never understood why people like him.
nothing wrong with him. There's just something wrong with you. But
I don't get why people like Wolverine. Like, I mean, like, okay, like he's immortal. He has metal claws.
all of my love for
He
Wolverine comes
stinks. Like, I don't know what.
all my love for Wolverine comes from the movies. I didn't really read that many X-Men comics or watch
I
the old cartoon really. I just liked them in the movies, but also like for people who like really are into like X-Men comics, like a decent amount of them actually don't like Wolverine either. And he gets so many stories that they especially hate him. Because I felt
yeah,
legit
no, a lot of X Men fans. Honestly, I wasn't a very big X Men fan until the pandemic, and then I was like, I've been meaning to get into X Men. I'm gonna start reading X Men,
yeah.
and that's when I really stopped liking Wolverine. And like, Cyclops is definitely the main character of the X Men. Like, you can definitely see that, but there's no reason that Wolverine should be as prevalent in the X Men as he is.
I think Wolverine is like he just he's there's too much of it. There's too much
There's
Wolverine.
way too much of him.
I don't think Wolverine's a bad character. I think they just do too much with him, and because of that, they stretch him thin, and kind of what's there was something I was thinking I can't remember, but they've done almost everything that they can. There's more they could do, but they're kind of stuck in this bag of doing the same thing with him over and over again, and it's like, dude, do something new or do less.
My
Like
favorite Wolverine thing is either in what was it? Star Lord's solo series from like 2017 or something, where it was old man Logan, and he was like trapped in the present, and he had and he was like friends with Kitty Pryde, of course, because he and Kitty are like really good friends. Like, he's like father figure to her, and of course, Star Lord and Kitty are like the main, like that's their main like relationship for each other in the comics. And so he was like arguing with Wolverine because he was trying to get back with Kitty Pryde, and Wolverine was being like the father figure type guy, and he's like, "Oh, you're not about to be around her, yada yada yada." And it was really funny. It was either that or in Kamala Khan's first solo series when she wound up accidentally teaming up with Wolverine, and she
actually,
was like, "Wow, you really stink."
yeah,
And he was like, "I haven't showered in a week" or something like that. It was funny.
yeah, that was in the first volume of Miss Marvel because I remember that was the only Miss Marvel story I've ever read was the very first volume of her comic of her first solo series. And I remember that story specifically. Um, yeah, I think he works best, especially as a mentor. And
Yeah.
my favorite stories, and this isn't really him being a mentor. My favorite stories with Wolverine is whenever he's with Spider Man. It's always funny. I like stories with Wolverine and Spider Man working together. So that's also there's no way they're doing this and it's not connected to Spider-Man. There's a possibility, but I doubt it. And
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but I've been seeing a lot of people saying that it's the same universe as
they
PS4, and
the way
I
they
fully believe it.
there was a blog post about both Spider-Man 2 and the Wolverine game, and they said something that could either be said as it could be taken literally either way, that it's not connected or that it is connected. So there is no confirmation. But they said that essentially how this game came along was that Marvel didn't ask them to make this. They asked Marvel and Sony could they make it. Like they wanted to make a Wolverine game, so they went to Sony and Marvel and said, "I pitched it." They pitched them the game, and they said, "Yeah," and they're making a Wolverine game. Insomniac's been killing it. They made Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank at the same time, and now they're working on Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 at the same time. Their team is obviously big. They're two separate teams because the person who the team that worked on Miles Morales and the director, they're the people working on Wolverine, while the other team that worked on Ratchet and Clank was working on Spider-Man 2. And they were the same team that worked on the first game, of course. Well, the people that worked on the first game was a combination of those teams. So yeah, that's I'm interested. I wonder if it's going to be open world or if it's going to be more like God of War, kind of open world, but not really. You know what I mean? Like how it's you can explore, kind of like the Dark Souls game. You can explore around a little bit, but it's somewhat linear. I wonder if it's going to be like that or if it's going to be straight up open world. Based
I
on
really hope it's open world, honestly.
honestly, I hope that it's a really small open because I don't think a huge open world really fits Wolverine. Naturally, it's there's got to be a big woods. I need me some woods, and I need to be able to like climb trees with the claws and like jump between trees and do stealth and like jump from the trees and murder people. Also, it needs to be
And murder people.
yeah, it needs to be rated M 100%. Like it needs to be blood and gore. I need to rip people apart. I want to. They've made M-rated games before, Insomniac, so hopefully this is also M-rated. Was it the Resistance games and Sunset Overdrive M-rated? So hopefully so is Wolverine. Because I want there to be blood. I don't need gore. I just need blood and lots of it. And I also want to be able to cut limbs off. So yeah. You're right. Yeah.
That's got to be the most like demented thing I think I've ever heard you say.
You've heard me say it before. When it comes to video games, I am a psychopath. I like to murder people brutally. It is my jam. It's weird, sure, but it's what I like. Um,
Hey man, whatever floats your boat, you know, like just don't kill people in real life, and it'll be fine.
what? I'm joking. Spider-Man 2.
I'm gonna act like I didn't hear that.
I'm a not cut it out. No, I was joking. Obviously, anybody who's watching this, that was a joke. Do not take that seriously.